What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G, here on Industry Talk, and welcome to Primetime Pod, the hottest information resource outlet for all things entertainment, breaking news, celebrity interviews, and the hot topics of the day. Make sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on all social media platforms, our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, we're on it. Just Google us. Boss Talk Podcast 101 Primetime.
Okay.
Do shit. Prime time five. Make sure you check it
How? Why the fuck you think he missing? He say that.
And second bill a whole lot.
Now I'm not trying to get a little messy with you.
Time is money.
They go trap.
What's good? What's good? What's good, beautiful people? It's your main man, Big G, coming at you all the way live. And today I have a special guest in studio, in the building, all the way from D-Town, Washington, D.C. Well, a little small town outside of Washington, D.C., but we're going to get into all that. We're going to get all that. Mr. G Mac, what's going on,
What's
brother?
going on?
Good,
Appreciate you.
man.
Appreciate you
Good,
for having
good.
me.
Man, look, you done came all this way from Washington. What make you think I'm not about to have you on prime time, man? Come on
That's
now.
what's up. That's
Yes,
what's up.
indeed. We definitely have to get into this conversation. Um, so let's get into it, man. Let's let the people know who you are, a little bit about your background, where you're from. Talk to me.
Uh, well, well, my name is Gerard McNeil. I go by GMAC. Everybody know what GMAC doing. So, a little about me. Just an entrepreneur trying to, get it with the cinematography, videography. Been doing it since, well, actually started in back 2005 throwing parties, in the Washington D.C. Area. So, like we had a discussion before, I was telling how I got started in the videography and everything. And then when I was throwing the parties, folks asking, "Hey, how was the parties? What was going on?" So one day I happened to get a Best Buy credit card. I took that, went to Best Buy, got a Canon HG10, and then started recording the parties and got editing software. It was free software, Pinnacle. Started editing, fell in love with that, and just wanted to do more of bringing film and video content to life with doing the editing, bringing the transitions, and that just sparked a light under me. So
Okay,
I
hold
just
on,
took
hold on,
that.
hold on, hold on, hold on. All right. Before we deep dive into that, you know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna get into the business side of it. We're gonna get into the passion of what it is that you do. But let's get into, the streets of DC. You know what I'm saying? Where's the small town? Where's the town outside of
I'm from Cheverly, Maryland.
Cheverly,
Yeah, Cheverly,
Maryland?
Maryland. Yeah.
Okay. And what was it like growing up in Cheverly?
I mean, it was typical. It was a majority. Well, we had it was majority blacks. It's whites there.
Hmm.
Nice. I say what people would call, I guess, middle income. Wasn't great, wasn't bad. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
well, we dealt with everything. Far as
Hmm.
the good and the bad. You know what I mean? So it was around killings and hustling, drugs, all that type of stuff, sports, and I mean, so
Well, taking into consideration, DC at one time had the highest crime rate in the nation,
yeah,
and it being
so
the capital.
so that was the time of like, so to go back, so this got to give the curse. So you speak on that time. So that was the time when I say around the 80, I say the 85 to 89, or like with 87 was a real big year. Everybody familiar with Rayful Admin and everything with him. So, my company is 87 Entertainment. So to go back with that is it's kind of play on 1987. So that was
Hmm.
the year me and my fellas we played basketball, county basketball. We won a championship that year. I think that year the Redskins won the Super Bowl. The prior year to that, my Giants won the Super Bowl. So
Hmm.
so I mixed that in anyway. So
Okay.
So but that's the play like the 1987. So a lot of people like what does 87 TV or whatever. So the 87 is kind of the 1987 because it was a lot going on. You
Right.
know, so like I look at my big brothers like that was like the time, you know, because they was, you know, living life. You know, it was hard, but
Mhm.
it was the good and bad, fast money. You know what I mean? So, but
Yeah.
it was that time. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. 87, 85. Okay, well, I just want to interject right quick, you know what I'm saying, since you're the one who brought it up. You see that Eagles cut back there?
Nah, I
You know
ain't
what I'm
see
saying? You see that Eagles cut
I
back
don't
there. You
see
know
that.
we're gonna be playing in the Super Bowl this Sunday. So you
Yeah,
know
shout out to Eagles. Shout out to I got my little cousin Corey. He an Eagles fan, and my business partner Corey. He an Eagles fan. So you know,
I mean, you guys to tell you brought up the Giants and they
you know,
Super
so
Bowl win. You know what I mean? So you know,
you
I
know what I'm
did.
saying? Cause you know we give y'all Shaquan. You know what I mean? So
Hey, that
you
was a
know,
bargain.
so you know.
And he's about to go get him a
Yeah,
chip.
hopefully you get it. Hopefully you get it. I ain't no hater, you know. NFC East,
Yes,
you know what
indeed.
I mean?
All the way, baby. All the way. So now let's get back to it, man. I digress. My bad, my bad, everybody. I didn't mean to sit there. You know, when people start to, chime in about sports and my Eagles and football, I kind of get, wild head and off the mark a little bit,. But I'm back. I'm back, people. All right. So, where'd you go to high school?
I went to a Catholic high school in DC, Archbishop Carroll High School.
Okay. And what was that like? Was it all boys school? Was it
No,
all?
no. So actually, my freshman year was the first year where it was males and females.
Okay.
So yeah, so it was a sports school. So that's where John Thompson went there, Lawrence Moulton, Marvin Graves. So you know, some
Some
people
heavy
came
hitters.
through.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know, what I mean, some people came through there.
Hmm.
You know, so
All right. So, what was it like growing up in that era, going to a Catholic school and having to deal with your friends that are at public school? You know what I mean?
mhm,
That are in the hood, whether it be your cousins or whatever the
mhm.
case may be. How did they view you? How did they look at you? Did they look at you like you was, something else, or how did that dynamic work?
um, no, because the thing about the gift and curse about Carroll is, yeah, it's a Catholic school, but it was predominantly students who or parents who didn't want their kids going to the public schools or whatever.
Hmm.
So let's send them to Curl. So which is mean it's just a bunch of people at Catholic school or whatever. So we still had the fights and all the, we just, was dressed up, whatever. So
Right.
we
Had the
got
uniforms
yeah,
on.
uniforms, so we got into the beef with the DC public schools at the metro stations going home and
Mhm.
things like that. So I mean, so we didn't get looked at like, we were soft or anything like that, but
Okay.
what I mean, so
So now let's talk about that because down south you don't really hear about the metro, the train, or and at a young age you moving around on the trains. I mean, like
mhm,
navigating these things, like knowing the maps, knowing how to read the maps, knowing how to get from what line to what line. I'm
mhm.
saying, well, how was that growing up? You know what I'm saying? As opposed to taking a school bus and you have one individual that's responsible for everybody on this bus getting you to a location.
Yeah, so I started off, with in Maryland school. So, I was accustomed to riding the bus, whatever.
Okay.
So once I went to Curl, that's when I started catching the metro because I was living in Temple Hills and I had to go to Northeast DC. So,
And what was the distance?
I
At
mean,
least 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
it's probably driving is probably like 40 minutes. So,
Wow.
yeah,
So you had to get up early to go to
yeah,
school.
yeah.
Just to
Yeah. Catch
just
the
to catch the
train because
train.
you catch the train, then I had to catch the bus to the school.
Okay. So how did you do this in the snow? Because I know it snowed in Vernon.
If so, we went off PG County schedule, which
Okay.
we was in DC, but like I said, majority of the students, but came from like PG County area, whatever. So they kind of followed the PG County.
Hmm.
So if they was out, we was out. If they went to school, we went to school. So
Okay. Because I'm mad because I know it gets brutal up
yeah,
there.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You really get snowed in.
yeah.
So I
So
mean,
I just talked to somebody. I think back home, they talking about ice in the morning.
mhm.
School's 2 hours delayed already. So
Okay. Well, let me ask you this: since you grew up in a town that's that's just embedded with politics,
Mhm.
politicians. You seeing black folks on a regular campaigning, lobbying, you know what I'm saying? So you see the whole gamut of it. Whether you're in an impoverished area or not, they still
Mhm.
coming out trying to collect your vote or trying to hustle some kind of way.
Mhm.
So in the climate right now, you're seeing these airplanes falling out the sky. What's your thought on that?
It's crazy, man. I mean, it's just
Real sport.
I mean, no, like so it's like you don't want to get into the conspiracy theories but like sometimes some of the things that happen is just like it's just baffling. Like there's no way it could just happen like that
Mhm.
without but then you got our president that he doesn't make things any easier for people. He has people on edge because like I was talking to JB earlier, it's like he know the things to say to get people riled up,
So he
to
keeping it stirred up. You
keep
think
it
he's
stirred.
stirring the
Yeah,
pot?
what I mean,
Hmm.
just saying things, just deflection and the more stuff to run his agenda.
Hmm.
So it's like, but he know as people we'll pick something to hop on this one thing and he's moving and doing something else
Hmm.
while we sitting here fussing about this and this, but he's making the next move.
Okay, so you saying there's a distraction in play. So if we sitting there following the distraction, we looking at the dangling carrot over here. Talk to me about what we need to be paying attention to, in your opinion.
I mean, mainly first, I think people need to pay attention to what's going on right where they at,
Hmm.
you know. So like with the voting, everyone gets, the president, but it starts at that county position. So like that 2 years prior, that's when people should be, going and getting their votes and because it starts there and works up. I mean, we can't just wait, think we're gonna elect the president and they gonna come and just change everything. So
Hmm.
I think people worry about the bigger picture instead of, some you can worry about the bigger picture, but you need to hone in like what's in front of you.
Hmm.
Kind of take advantage of what you can touch and what I mean.
Hmm.
So doing, community like and build from there.
So as a cinematographer, as a videographer, what can you do? What role can you play to help mobilize the community? You know what I'm saying? With your eye, with your vision, with what you can do from behind the camera to show the masses that, hey, look, this is a direction or this is a methodology or a way that we can actually transcend. How do you speak to that?
Just finding a way to bring out the best in people. Like,
Hmm.
like we talked about getting people that, with maybe the cinematography, videography, like people who, may be good at lighting, audio,
Hmm.
and showing that we can come together and put projects or put someone in the spotlight so people could see, oh, this person is doing that. Because, you don't know what you don't know,
Right.
So if I can put the light on someone else that these people here are doing this and that can spark something somewhere else, that's what I try to do, put the pieces together as I see meet different people, like, hey, got this guy in Mississippi's doing this. Oh, this person in DC is doing that. Like, oh, they can, work together and, and that way folks network, and that's how people kind of, I always say, latch on. So if you could tell your partner, hey, I'm doing this and to 20,000 times, they, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But then when they see you doing it with somebody they got an interest in, then they like, oh, Big G, what was you saying about that? So now they more in tune because
Hmm.
they know you doing it, but you're just
Hmm.
you my boy, you my friend, So
Right.
I ain't really. But then when JB come in the picture, then it's like, okay, now, oh, Big G may be on to something. JB came through,
Hmm.
you know what I mean? So now they like, oh, I want Big G, can I come through now? So that's how things work. So that's why I try to align and get people together because I know that's just human nature and business. I see how people operate.
Okay. And let's go back a little bit because you say you were an athlete, right? You played basketball, you won the state championship. Did you
A United State champ.
the
It's 10,
county
this is 10, yeah,
the
it's
county
10,
championship?
yeah,
County
county champ.
championship.
It's 10 and
Uh,
under Triple
uh,
A.
did you after high school? Did you go to college?
Yeah, I went to college, but I didn't play sports. I just went for academic scholarship. I went to Michigan State.
Michigan State. How was it up there at Michigan State?
It was different, you know. Like I said, I didn't have any family there. I
Uh,
had my stepmother uncle stayed in Detroit, so that's like the only family that was in the area. So, but it was a good experience. It taught me a lot, you know, living on my own, how to move. So that's why I think I'm able to travel and do the things I do now because, you know, I went away and it was just me working and doing what I was doing.
okay,
And my people's like, oh no, we're not paying for you to fly back home. So
you got to stay.
I guess, you know, make it do what it do.
Hmm. And Maryland, Michigan, very two different dynamics when it
Yes.
comes to the people.
Yes. And then, you know, East Lansing, where I was at Michigan State, that's pretty much 90% of that city. So,
Hmm.
and you know, just the things being much slower. It was much slower up there. Like far as, you know, things closing and
Right.
you know, that type of thing. So
And so, how was the college experience at Michigan State?
it was great. I mean, it was great because it was a time, you know, the football team, and I actually had a partner, my dad's best friend, his godson went to Michigan State, played football.
Mhm.
Dwayne Payne, he was from DC, went to Anacostia High School. Then he
Mhm.
went to Michigan State, he was a receiver. So in the class I came in '96, so that was when Plaxico Burrs, uh, who else was there? Robert Smith, you know, Mateen Cleave,
Mhm.
you know, all that, all the Flintstones. So on the basketball side, you know, they won the title in 2000, which would have been my senior year, but I left my junior year. So
Okay. And let's do the deep dive at this point. Like when you really started taking video production, cinematography, like really passionate and going after it, taking 87 TV network, everything that you were building, like to heart, like this is my bread and butter. This is where I'm actually gonna make my ends meet. When did you really take it there?
I think it's kind of when I linked up with Trey Chaney.
Okay.
He's from the area, Forestville, Maryland. This was after he did his stint on The Wire, where he was kind of, you know, in limbo, and I linked up with him, and you know, he was doing the music and doing all types of things. So I was just doing like videography for him. So going like when he had shows or
Mhm.
music videos, whatever, doing, you know, BTS footage or whatever, and just, you know, going and meeting people, networking.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, being in the Revolt offices, you know, able to travel to Atlanta and see when he was on Saints of Sinners, you know,
Mhm.
seeing, you know, being around the cast and seeing, you know, the bigger picture of like, okay, you can make a living doing this and have fun. Like,
Right.
so that's when I really was like, you know, let me lock in, you know.
Okay. And through that development and through that journey, you have some projects that you're endeavoring upon that you're working on.
Mhm.
Can you give me a little background on some of those things, or is that
Yeah.
you being
So we're going through a little rebranding now. So we have a couple of projects that we're going back to that we previously touched upon. We have the Burrow, which is, you know, depicting the crabs in the barrel, you know, people pulling you down, you know, you trying to do your thing and you got your partners or someone, you know, may not be your partner, it's someone you know, they hating, you know, they want to stop your flow, you know. So that was one. Then we have A World Apart and society, you know, the crimes, you know, with the police and killing, you know, black folks and, you know, all the stuff. So it was really, that was kind of like a social thing. So we definitely getting back to that. And then we have a project that I want to do with comedian JB. is sink or swim. So we got some things going that.
Okay, so you got a project coming down the pipeline with Jarrell Braswell, comedian
Mhm.
Jarrell Braswell. JB does a comedy house here in Meridian, Mississippi every
Mhm.
Thursday. Um, so how did you and JB link up? Since you didn't brought his name up, how did you and
So
Jarrell Braswell?
and back in, I think, what was that? 20, what was that? 16, I don't know. We was doing a celebrity cruise in Miami,
Okay.
and JB he was booked to do the comedy, and I was booked to do the videography.
Mhm.
And I ain't gonna get into it, but it was some some things going on. We was being moved around, business wasn't taken care like it was, and me and JB, we on the midst of us moving around, we crossed paths and start talking and never look back.
Okay.
It's just been working since. Like I said, and it's you looking for someone that has that passion, and that work ethic, that you put out. And sometimes it's hard because sometimes people just want to be there at the finish line.
Mhm.
They don't want to start the race and run and go through the trials and tribulations. So when you find people like that, it's kind of special. And so that's what me and him been working. He been able to allow me to show my skills with the 87 TV network by, spotlighting him, giving him his own show, and being with him has led me to do bigger and better things,
Awesome.
with, meeting other people, with his endeavors and success he's having. So I'm able to attach to that.
Okay. Um, if you had a opportunity to bless a younger individual with some insight about the career, about videography, about cinematography, and the ups and the downs that come with it, what would you what would you um, bless them with? What would you bestow upon them? What would you
Okay.
pass on? A message.
One thing, with people, just stay true, trust in yourself, and take your time. Don't think that you have to speed through to, get where you need to be. And, if you need to slow walk it and at your pace, that's what you need to do. It's don't just jump in with anybody, just understand what's going on. Just take your time, evaluate the situation because these situations will be different. So you will have to evaluate, and do what's best for you.
Mhm. Now, I want to remind you that we live. All right. So I don't ever want to put you in a position to be like, oh man, you caught me off guard. All right. But I do like people to know who you are, right? Everybody talks about the ups, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But nobody wants to talk about the lows and the downs that come with the business or just life in general. You know,
Mhm.
have there ever been any points in your life where you wanted to quit, where you wanted to give up, where shit just wasn't going right?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, in this business, like for one, just like a lot of things, you need money. So when life is life in, sometimes the money ain't there. So when you're doing a video, everything you're doing, some costs. If you gotta update equipment, or if you gotta rent a space to shoot a scene, like it's always something. So if you gotta connect with sponsors, and so it's always something. So when those things not there, and make it hard for you, so just like anything, you think like, man, is this it? Is it even worth it? So I've been there, but at the end of the day, that passion I have for it, brings me back around and dealing with, dope individuals that, that's doing the things you're doing. That'll bring it back out of you and, pump you back up, so. But I definitely been there at times where I'm like, look, I'm gonna just work my 9 to 5.
Mhm,
It is what it is.
mhm. So what keeps you in that creative space then?
Just like I said, just being with other people that's creative, like like things like coming down and seeing your operation and seeing talking to you and saying your vision you have and just hearing some of the things and that type of stuff be like, yeah, it's just it's sometimes you gotta take your time, and make it do what it do.
Right. Okay. Um, man, I want to know when this movie gonna drop. When Crabs in the Barrel
I
gonna drop?
mean,
When? How you gonna revamp it? And I want to know about that one. I definitely want to know about this Jay Braswell project.
uh,
You know what I'm saying? When? What's we got a timeline on it?
so
Or
I'm trying to get in the spring and some of this year to get back shooting and knock, two of those out this year.
Mhm.
So that's the plan to hopefully, this year, definitely by mid mid next year. So definitely this year I plan at least to get one out.
Mhm. Mhm.
One out. So I'm still going with the Burrow. I may make that to like a little mini series.
Right.
So that's the talks have been about that. So
Okay.
because that may be a little easier to to get it out. So do like a little mini series and spin it off to the full feature that we has once we get some traction going with it.
Okay.
So
I mean, we live right now, man. Let's get to it. I mean, you doing casting calls? Are you looking for actors, actresses, or in
um
your region, or people that
yeah
are
yeah
willing to fly out and
yeah we
participate?
definitely gonna be looking for that. So like if to stay in tune with that, you just follow me on my IG 87 TV network, and definitely I will be promoting that and letting folks know that we'll be looking for something. So if it's in the DC area or maybe here in Mississippi, so
Give it
never
to me
know.
again. 87 TV network.
87 TV network. That's the number 8, the number 7 TV network.
Okay. Yes, indeed. I like it to give it to them in threes. You know what I mean? I mean, that first time it just
Yeah,
passes by. That second
yeah,
time they pay attention.
yeah.
That
That
third
third
time
time,
it's locked
yeah,
in. 87 TV
TV.
network.
There you go.
And they can catch you on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook is 87 TV Network, the business page. My personal page is Gerard G Mac McNeil. You can, catch me on there too.
Okay. And when it comes to branding, because you say you're going through a rebrand, um, promoting and marketing 87 TV network. Give me a background. Give me the backstory. How are you going to uh, revitalize everything? Talk to me about
So
what the game plan is, if in fact you want to talk about
no, that's fine. So
it.
basically it's like it's not necessarily like a rebranding, but it's say I guess a reopening because I like it's, the pandemic crushed a lot for me. Like I was full steam ahead,
Mhm.
then the pandemic came and crushed some things. So I had to shut down and what we just talked about,
Right,
like
some of the lows.
some of the lows, like
Mhm.
is this really worth it going through this? Like, so but just just getting through things.
Because I'm asking
Mm,
because I was looking at one of the trailers,
mm,
and Crank Lucas
mhm.
is one of the main characters in
Yeah, that was the barrel. So that was the barrel.
Barrow, right? So he's doing what he's doing in a whole different region right now.
Mhm.
So how can you pull that, and how you want to pull that together, or are you trying to go in a different direction? Or I know you still got contact with him, y'all are still
Yeah.
friends. So
So
and how did y'all grow up together? How does that connection
um
come together?
so we ain't grow up bad, but we was the same. So he's from the area and just like getting out and networking and you meeting folks, oh I do this. And so like I said, when I met him it was before he kind of say, went viral with, the skits and the things he was doing.
Mhm.
So, and it was just, networking. Hey, let them know, hey, this what I'm doing, this script, and would you like to be a part of it? And, he was cool, So, like I said, and with this thing, that was like the love, because I wasn't paying. People was, donating their time.
Okay.
So, you get them food or whatever, but
Mhm.
people was donating their time. So that was a thing that was really good for me because it showed that people really cared, So
Mhm.
that's one of the things why I really want to get back to that project. Okay.
But doing independent film projects are hard
Hmm.
because you don't have operational budget.
Hmm.
And even if you do have a semblance of a budget, it's very site specific to what you're putting it toward.
Hmm.
And then after you've exhausted that, how are you going to promote the film? How are you going to get it to market? How you see? So talk to me about some of those things that you have to deal with as not only a producer,
Hmm.
videographer, cinematographer, but at the end of the day, after you've done edit and you're ready to go to the market, how do you make that happen?
So I mean, it depends on the product, what's going on. Like, so my main thing is like relationship, because it's not about what you know, but
Mhm.
who you know.
Okay.
So things with, when you get into your marketing and pushing something, like depending on who's in it, like what ties do they have? You know what I mean? Do they have somebody that can help push it that,
Mhm.
to get it out there? So it's just
Well, hold on a second. Now, I'm gonna stop you right there, right? Because Kevin Hart used his leverage like that at one time. I think there was a movie that came out, and they wanted him to push the movie through his social media,
Mhm,
and he was like, "No, that's a whole different advertisement check." Right.
mhm.
So, do you come across individuals that have that kind of angst about promoting a project or something that you're working with them on through their social
Yeah,
media?
yeah, you definitely get that because, and as I say, especially when it's something unpaid. So
Mhm.
folks feel like you ain't paying for me. Like, all right, you asking for too much now. Like,
Mhm.
but sometimes you get those people that understand it.
But
Like,
that's you getting to the paid, isn't it? Isn't that a part of it?
yeah, but we live in this world is instant. Like, I want it now, or they see whatever. Like, or they.
Mhm.
Like I said, someone may seen that same story, Kevin Hart. So now they want to do it. They pulling it. So like, so that's
Mhm.
what people always, making themselves bigger than what they are, which is
Mhm.
cool. But at in the same sense, you got to know what works for you. So
Right.
if you know someone is pushing something that can help you, why wouldn't you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
But I
So
segued that just because, my Eagles are about to be in the Super Bowl. Kevin Hart and Gilly the King, you know what I'm saying? They, who accepted the challenge.
can we see you do the dance?
Shit, yeah, so, man, I just wanted to throw that in there. Some people don't know my sick humor, but at the same time, I just want to present that once again. But that's why I even brought Kevin Hart
It's
into
all good.
you should know that. Yeah, that's all good. What are we talking about?
Nah, it makes sense.
But yeah, man, I'm enjoying the conversation, man, and you have some insight, some real good insight that you could sit there and really give to our audience that are interested in film, in cinematography, in videography. I want to bring you back.
Mhm.
I know the next time we have to probably do it virtually, but I know we come back to Mississippi.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, good. We locked in because we got some stuff that we need to talk about and start getting done.
Yes, definitely.
Um, especially with JB,
Mhm.
and what we got going on with JB and building his brand and getting him out as one of the premier comics that are on the stage today. So that's what I want to sit down and really engage with you on, and how do we keep that communication going
Mhm.
and build from there.
Mhm.
So what do you think about that?
No, we locked in. Like I said,
Okay.
look, you got little bro in hand. He got weekly. Like,
Yeah.
so you may start saying me weekly, man. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So
Good.
that's how it goes.
Hey man, and with that just come on, because I know you got your own cameras.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
JB's got cameras, I've
Yeah.
got cameras. So that
That's
the production house is there.
there. Yeah.
I was just talking with my brother CEO with Boss Talk Podcast
Okay.
101. You know what I'm saying? That's my brother, man. Love him to death. Him and Miss Jamaica
Mhm.
out of Dallas Fort Worth area, and we were just talking about production houses and film production, and knowing that you have a 50 Cent, a Tyler Perry and a Cat Williams who have just, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
made some major stakes with studios, big house studios in the southern region. So now you have to think about smaller production houses that are going to have an opportunity to really flourish
hmm
and advance with what they're doing. So you have to start pulling together these pilots and these packages and these scripts and creating content so that people can be like,
Content. Yeah.
whoa,
You need
wait a
that
minute,
content.
where do I go to get this type of quality?
hmm
Who so that hey man, we can do a docu series or a documentary or audiobooks or whatever and have it ready, prepped, cited, and let's run it. And all you got to do is fine tune it. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I mean, hey, I'm not. I've yet to put something up on Tubi yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying
hmm
that I will. I'm just saying I've yet to do that
hmm
because I'm more along the lines of what you're talking about, having your own network.
hmm
You see, so we have our own channel. We have our own Roku channel and all that stuff. It's just that the content has to be such that is worth seeing.
Perfect. Yeah.
That's just my thought on it.
Yeah.
What you think about that?
Yeah. No, definitely like so we in the same lines with that. Like
Hmm.
so definitely the network thing. So like no knock on the Tubi, but like you said, my thing is, if they could do it there, why not do it here?
Right.
So, you know,
And what helps build your network is content.
content. Yep. So,
Yeah. So lock in. It's easy to lock in a sync deal or a licensing deal with a network.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's an independent network.
yeah,
And then hey man, we do the accounting, and at the end of the day, this is what you get every quarter. This is what your numbers have done. If your numbers ain't done shit, just like anything else, Nielsen tell you, hey, if the ratings ain't
you're
right, you
right.
got to go. You coming off the
hmm
air.
Yeah,
So it's about getting the rating, getting the numbers, and that comes through marketing, promotion, and advertising.
yeah. And then the thing was, so I go back and say the thing about networking, which is about who you know. So when you get those right heavy hitters
Hmm.
in your corner,
Hmm.
that makes the marketing and advertising that much easier. So you can go to such and such, hey, I got such and such in this and whatever, so they may want to, invest,
Hmm.
so, it's things like that. So that's why I was like, it's key getting out, hitting the road, knowing somebody. It's cool to be, in your city, but it's even better to be known in other cities and be able to pull resources from other places,
Hmm.
so.
I'm gonna throw this out there just to see what you say, just to get your take on it. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll chime in. You know, not to say your opinion really matters. I'm just saying that I'm gonna throw this out there, and I just want to get some feedback. But what's your take on Michael Vick, man, getting head coaching job?
I mean, I'm glad. Like, I'm for that. So
Okay.
especially like, I think that Dion kind of set the standard or whatever that where folks will see, the Mike Vick. So, and I think some students that may not wouldn't go to the school
Hmm.
will go to the school now,
Yeah.
and they can get that on the job training, like, because there's nothing like getting the training for somebody that's been through it,
Hmm.
you know. So
Hmm.
you got, some coaches they just been coaching, they know, but it's a different to know somebody that's walked through that jungle,
Right.
and they know, hey, this may jump out, this may jump out, and
Hmm.
they can, raise, and especially him being,
Yeah.
at the HBCU with him, and same as with Deshaun Jackson. So
Right.
like
Right.
I applaud both of them, and
Right.
we need more of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm a true advocate of Mike Vick. His story, what he's gone through,
hmm
the BS that they try to smear his name,
Yeah.
all the things that he's gone through, and he stood tall. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
He's fought through it, and now to be in a position to be able to educate a younger generation, and like
hmm
I say about the ups and the downs,
Up and down, sure.
but really teach you, how to play this game the right way.
hmm
And there again, my Philadelphia Eagles will be in the Super Bowl Sunday. He was an Eagle. You know what I mean? I just want people to them segues. Well, I'm familiar with these things. Well, I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Hey, man, I ought to become a goddamn regular commentary guy on broadcast television. I'm so good with this, man. Hey, man, hey. But yeah, I definitely support what's going on with Vic, and I keep him and his family in my prayers, and I wish him well in all of his endeavors and everything that he's attempting to do, because much like Deion Sanders, he has the platform to be able to change lives
Mm-hmm.
and make a difference with his actions.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because they don't just be talking about it;
Mhm.
they act
Yeah,
upon it.
right. Yeah.
They're really acting in a positive manner with when it comes to humanity, not just black folks. You
Right.
know, when it comes to humanity across the board, and that's what I love about him. You know, that's what I love to see. So, with that being said, man, G-Mac, I appreciate you for coming out.
No problem, man.
Um,
Anytime.
before we get off this thing, you have some last words you want to give to the people about because you're here in Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? You're in the deepest part of South that you'll ever see. You're out here in the woods coming out of DC. I know when you was in that truck, you're like, man, where in the hell am I at? But talk to us, man, about last words, last message to the people.
Man, I just want everybody to support 87 TV Network. You know, follow me on IG, 87 TV Network, Facebook, 87 TV Network, and you know, it's going down this weekend, man. Anybody that's in, you know, the Louisiana area, Baton Rouge Friday, man, come check my boy JB out. They got 2 sets at the Silly Rabbit. So, you know, that's Friday. So we out here working, man. Then, you know, every Thursday we had the what's the spot?
We're a trio.
Trios. Every Thursday, man. Mississippi, man.
Trio Lounge every Thursday
Hey,
night.
hey, let's get it
Yeah.
in, man.
Yes, indeed.
Supporting, you know, support everything my guy here doing, man. Big G, man. You know, I appreciate you for having me on. You know,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm usually on the opposite side. You know,
Right,
so
right.
but you know, like I said, we here to do it, so we gotta do what we gotta do.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. It was awesome, whether you realize it or not. And I tell people this all the time. I don't come on this thing to try to ask you, you know, questions that are um, prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'd much rather have a conversation
Awesome.
with you, get to know you, get to know who you are, and we can
Mm-hmm.
get into all that other stuff as we
Let's
build our
get it.
relationship right in front of their eyes. Because I'll be like,
Mm-hmm.
man, because I'm gonna start dropping some jewels that you dropped in this whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, the interview's out there,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna start chopping it up and dropping it out and letting folks know who you are. You know what I'm saying? From my perspective, and them sitting back watching you and getting to know you, and hopefully some work comes out of this too.
Yeah.
Because that's at the end of the day,
Sure. Yeah.
what you want. You hire me to come film some shit. We working. Yes, we are not.
What G Mac doing?
Yes, indeed. So that's gonna be good, man. Like you're saying, you're gonna be 87 TV Network will be in Baton Rouge for the Super Bowl. It's gonna be at the where's it at? In New Orleans. It's not in Baton Rouge.
The show, the comedy show Friday is in Baton Rouge.
Okay, but then
Yeah. The Super Bowl
is
yeah,
in
that's
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So y'all gonna be down there with Bubba Dub having a great time doing all that good stuff. So that's gonna be some great footage. That's gonna be some a great opportunity to network and just like you're saying, spread your wings even more, man. And I appreciate you for coming in.
Appreciate you, man.
It's been a great conversation. But my point to it was, man, we damn near did an hour just sitting there talking. You think I'm kidding?
I already know. I know how it goes.
Yeah, just chopping it up, man. So that's keeping it real. Just you know. But the next time you come, we're gonna go into the real in depth.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The gritty shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know you was out there in the streets here. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to keep that part of. You know what I'm saying? The conversation this year. You know, I was at a Catholic school. Yeah, I let it keep it. You know, we're gonna keep that for another interview. And I appreciate you, G Mac, for coming
Appreciate you,
out
man.
and having a good time with us. Bro.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, man.
All
Yes,
right.
indeed. You've been locked into another great episode of Primetime Pod. Major salute to our guest. And remember, ain't no time like prime time. This is your main man, Big G, with Industry Talk. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to our network, Primetime Pod. And as always, beautiful people, it's about health, wealth, and wellness.
Prime Time Pod. Make sure you check it
Pal, why the fuck you think he missing? He say that. Now I'm not trying to get a little messy with you.
Time is money.
They go trap.